So today we are looking at the prime time players. We got so many upgrades, it's unbelievable. Now obviously with these we have got some brand new heroes in here which are always interesting. We've got Salgado, we've got De Rossi, we've got Hazard, Gully, we've got Georges, and not even going to try it. Let's see what her first name is. We've got Simon. So if you're looking for coins, head over to eldorado.gg. There is huge amounts of verified sellers on Eldorado, and there is a money back guaranteed by Trade Shield. If that's not enough, there is 24/7 live support and also plenty of reviews across websites that will definitely put your mind at ease. And as always, before you check out, make sure that you are using the code JT11 for 5% off every single order. Back to the video. Yeah, we'll go with that. So in terms of the upgrade then, if I can get my camera back on, we've obviously got ourselves the different upgrade paths. So UCL and UEL are going to be club earns 7 or more points in the next 4 matches. So I'm assuming from the release date, so from Friday, rather than any previous games. We've got the player has 1 appearance in a win over the next 4 matches. That's going to give a role and a base playstyle. Attacking mids, or attacking and mids, get 1 goal or assist in the next 4. Defense gets 1 clean sheet or 0 yellow cards or red cards in the next 4 matches, is going to give another role plus and another base playstyle. Club finishes in the top 8 in the league is a playstyle plus if they haven't got one already. If they have got one, they'll get an extra 2 base playstyles. And club scores at least 1 goal in 4 different matches, they will get an overall upgrade. So in the next 4 matches, there is a choice of 2 overall upgrades and a few roles and playstyles. In the UCL, we've got the same pretty much. 1 appearance in a win, attacking mid. I don't know why this is different. Completes in the top 4. So that's going to be the difference one there. And 4 different matches as same. The UECL, which is the conference, I want to say. Club earns 4 points in the next 3 matches. Okay, 1 overall. Players 1 appearance in the next 3. The same. 1 goal in the next 3. Club finishes in top 8. And 3 different matches for the overall. The Prime Time Heroes upgrade path is going to be 2 wins in the next 4 matches for their specific team. I'm assuming we kind of go with them. We'll show you in a second. Score 4 goals in the next 4 league matches is a roll plus and 2 base play styles. So they can go up a 1 upgrade. So I believe that is going to be everything. We do have the showdown stuff, but the specific teams is going to be... Is it going to actually tell me here? For the German, the big powerhouse... For Frankfurt, okay, Frankfurt, still in the clubs, okay, Bayern Munich, okay, there we go. So Bayern Munich could have been just read the last one. Obviously Real Madrid, that's fair enough. Then obviously De Rossi, I'm assuming is Roma. I'd imagine it's Roma. Did he only play for Roma? I want to say yes. He's obviously got the club time Roma, and Hazard more than likely is going to be Chelsea. Gully, who's actually not on here, I don't know, it might actually tell me on the foot bin, I can imagine potentially actually. So let's go in and see their prices in general. So if we go into the heroes, we have got all of them here. So we've got 2.8 for Hazard, we got 500 for Georges, 1 million for De Rossi, 145, 400 and 130. I'm assuming if he's in Ligue 1, do we have the upgrade path anywhere? Normally it does have some sort of upgrade here, but by the looks of it, let me know down below. It could be PSG. I actually don't know who he played for, in fact. So that's going to be great help, to be honest. And yeah, comments, anything in the comments? Finally, not acrobatic, finisher. No, they're just going to talk about the card. But in general, these are the cards that we've got. And I think, to be honest, they do prove themselves pretty much in the categories they are. Obviously, Hazard is going to be up there. I mean, Hazard is great in the game. If you've not used him, try him out in draft or whatever if you don't have the coins, because he is fantastic this year. Very much how I expected him to be last year. And he started off really well and then slowly slipped. So it unfortunately is one of them that once he gets to the time of where you're looking at a Ronaldinho, you're looking at kind of a Vinny and Mbappe on the left, Hazard is then unfortunately a little bit left behind. Right now, absolutely brilliant. We do then have De Rossi coming in, another great card. We used him yesterday and he was phenomenal. I don't know if I'd quite say 1.1 mil. I think that is purely on the fact that it's very difficult to get. But I get, like, he is definitely up there with a DM. They did him nice in this. They got him absolutely stunning. You leave a basic on him as well. Very nice overall in general, so he would be another one I would definitely put up here. When it comes to the rest of them, I really like Georges. I think as a centre-back goes, incredible. I'd go Salgado as kind of more of your S category. Very good right-back, but I didn't feel like he was absolutely in that top. I think I loved the intercept more so than anything, and he would play brilliant in a CDM. Some cards just absolutely work it there. Then obviously the centre mid and Gully, I'd put them into a good category. I just wouldn't go at the top with them at this point. Now, we do have a lot of Conference and Europa League players, and some of them are definitely there. We look at like a Matteson, great left back for the Prem, obviously Kone. Some of the major leagues, major nations have obviously got something, but there is going to be a lot of just, you're not going to use them. Like realistically, as much as this Czech player, brilliant stats, like across the board, fantastic, good pace, great shooting, dribbling's phenomenal. But link-wise, he's just not going to be there. So that is going to have a detriment to a lot of these cards. If they don't have the right nation or the right league, they're just going to be left behind. We don't have teams that can incorporate loads of different nations and leagues with the amount of icons and usable icons that we've got at this moment in time. Now, if he does manage to get a double upgrade, if he manages to get a role, if that is possible for these teams, fair enough, absolutely, get him on board. But for right now, unfortunately, a lot of these are going to be just left in the bottom end more so than anything, and they will just be misses for now. So I get that some of them might be pretty decent, like even Edvanderson. It looks solid. Look, it looks a great card. It's an 84 rated card. Will be due an upgrade at some point. Like, I mean, an evolution will definitely come up there if they don't progress in the Europa League. But 90 pace, 85 shooting, 81 dribbling, and 86 physicality on an 84 is solid. It's solid for the Eredivisie. But realistically, are you going to use him? Probably not. Like, realistically, you could maybe go all of these into like an A category and they'd be okay, but realistically, there's only going to be a set few that go in here. Brown could have been a great shout for a Turkish league. Obviously, coming in with the long ball throw, it's the thing that kills him. We know we're not going to get a double throw, a double throw, I mean, that would be incredible. A long throw. We're not going to get a double playstyle plus for quite some time, so he's stuck with that long ball throw. And I guarantee if you have it, you're never using it. It was literally a playstyle plus that was just thrown out by the end of it. It's unfortunately not going to be used in this game. Unless they make heading absolutely impeccable and you could change the throw-in taker. That is the only time that they actually give that any relevancy, and it's not going to be right now. So unfortunately, as good as the card looks to start with, they really ruined it with that playstyle plus. He could have had, like the 84 of Anderson, or Ed Vanderson, they could have given him an evolution that potentially could have been a nice upgrade. We do have a few in the kind of in the leagues where I'm like, okay, well, we got a bit of Prem in here, obviously. We've got Igor coming in for obviously Forest. Does look a solid card. Now, obviously, he's going to get a bit more praise being in a major league and having a great nation on him as well. So he's not necessarily going to be in the topper category, but he definitely puts himself into a little bit of the bottom. And realistically, if we do the same for a lot of these cards, Kone's one. In fact, Kone and Matteson we'll talk about more. McGregor, I mean, you could throw him in. We have obviously another Eredivisie, Portuguese league. They're very much just standard. Like they're not going to be in anywhere realistically. Again, most of these you could probably just throw in the bottom standard. You pack them, you might kind of follow the team. I think that's going to be the only thing that really kind of matters with these is you could see who gets the upgrade and maybe either invest in them if they go up slightly or not. But naturally, you're going to be looking at Kone. Great centre mid across the board. Look at the dribbling on him. The physicality's there. You go with a shadow on him. That is going to be a card in the Serie A, French, Roma. Fantastic. 87 pace, 87 defended, 88 on the dribbling as a centre mid / DM. All he's missing is a playstyle plus, and that's a cracking card. Then obviously we look at someone like a Matteson. We've been crying out for a left back. Obviously in the Prem specifically, there isn't necessarily a great deal. Kirkes and Robertson have now had evolutions. We've obviously got a Kukurea upgrade. Matteson's just taking it to that next level. You throw an anchor on him. It's a pretty solid left back at this point. Again, the only thing he's missing is going to be a playstyle plus. Now, I think both of these could be argued up there. With the fact that there is a lot of centre mids out there, it's always questionable where he goes. I think as left backs are very scarce at the moment, I think Matteson would put himself more into the topper category at this point. Now, obviously, when it comes to the UCL,
you know there's going to be the fan favourites. Naturally, you'll look at like a Haaland. I think he's easily going up into the top. A Militao, easily going up into the top. Then you look a little bit further down, you obviously see Yamal. We'll kind of go over these as well. Saliba, easy. Hansen, easy. There's so many top end in this that they've kind of left them at their rating. Like you look at Yamal specifically, he's obviously got himself just the same rating, but there is a chance for him to go up to 91. And there is a very good chance that he does make the appearance, he does get the goals, and they do get the wins. So they can't go too crazy with him, yet they still gave him a little bit of an upgrade. 3 on the pace, 4 on the shooting, 2 on the dribbling. It's enough to put him in there. So if you manage to get him, you could potentially be looking at a 91 on, obviously, Yamal. More than likely, the overall upgrade will only come up with like +1s across the board for the overall. So it's not like he's going to be too crazy of an upgrade, but a 91 is going to be a 91 for him at the end of the day. Same with the likes of Saliba, obviously he's gone up a 1 upgrade. We've obviously got Haaland the same as his upgrades in general. Hansen's the same rating. But one that I'm very interested in on the bench, just snuck in out of there, Gordon. 500,000 coins, comes with the Quick Step Plus. That is a monster of an upgrade for him. 3 on the pace, 7 shooting, 5 on passing and dribbling. That is an upgrade that I'm definitely going to keep an eye on. Now, whether Newcastle can do too much in the Champions League, they have a shot. I mean, everybody's got a shot, but they have a real good shot that they could even beat out some of the teams. Could he potentially do it? And I think that is going to be a little punt that you could throw in there for him. And naturally, in all of the UCL, you're going to find players that are unfortunately in that bottom category as well. We go down, there's a few 10Ks here and there. They're just going to be kind of in that lower end realistically. Nothing too crazy where you're kind of just throwing them in just because. Like they're not necessarily going to be due the upgrades, but they are going to just be kind of in that bottom sort of category realistically. Both of these are in the same. I don't want to make them too big for both of them because naturally you're just going to get a big screen of the bottom end realistically. We obviously then have Silver. Again, 12,000 coins. Not really going to throw anything. Taylor, if they get an upgrade, there is a potential that you get something from them, but realistically at this point, it's going to be really a nothing. Now, obviously, we do have the Portuguese League coming in for Benfica, looking decent with that Enforcer Plus. Now, and any sort of playstyle pluses that are added could be the potential. We'll kind of get into Rasmus in a minute. Now, do I think he's going to be up there with the best of them? Not with a 3-star. He'd kind of be coming in kind of like a Kone. We've got lots of centre mid cams, DMs that are going to throw themselves into this hat, and realistically, he's not going to be one of them. Obviously, then we kind of got Letizia. Quite like her as a centre back, to be honest. We did get Cambiasso as well. To be honest, I really thought they added Cambiasso in and realised it's not Cambiasso, and I don't even know if it's in the same spelling, but if it's his son as well, that's the one thing I haven't really seen. Great card upgrade for an SBC. Definitely up there as left backs. Now, a little bit under a bit of Matteson in my opinion. Does have the playstyle plus, but quick step isn't necessarily what I kind of want. And we do have Estevao as well, coming in as 286. Chelsea, whether they make it in the UCL, we'll kind of see, but lovely upgrade to say the least. 3 on the pace, we knew that weren't going to go too crazy. 10 shooting, 9 passing, and 6 dribbling. Fantastic upgrade for him. Now, when it comes to wing play, we have got a lot of players there. There is so many options now from right wing alone, from like Embuemo's upgrade, Doué, obviously Yamal, Hansen. Then you got like Diani, Rodman, if you're going for the female leagues, Reece James, Lauren James. So many options where does he really fit? Now, if you manage to pack him and you don't have anybody else, I mean, he's going to be a solid card. He was great even with just the upgraded Evo from his 78. So still a sensational pull to say the least. Then obviously we've got the likes of kind of like your Xavi Simons who have threw himself into here. You have Pavlovic as well, or Pavlovic, either way you want to say him. As a DM, comes in very nicely. He reminds me very much like the new Kimmich. He's coming up there. Still not quite as good as Kimmich, but you think of the midfield that you could go with. A very balanced midfield in 2 DMs in Pavlovic and Kimmich, who both can run up and down. And then a Goretzka in the middle. Bayern have definitely got their source back with that one, so very interesting to see where he goes. Obviously, Xavi Simons, I would kind of go into more of the bog standard category more than anything. We did get a brilliant evolution come in yesterday, and it does include this man right here, Bonnie, with his press proven 94 pace, coming in at 6'2" in the Serie A. is a very interesting one. Now, obviously, we did get the El Capitan in the upgrade here that really does give him that bit of an upgrade. You could throw him into a Finesse Shot Plus, which is always interesting to see the difference. And at this moment in time, naturally, this 86 could potentially go up if Napoli do manage to find something. Or it's not Napoli, it's... Who is that? That's not... Who is that? It's not Inter, is it? It could be Inter. Why is it that I can't... Yeah, it is Inter. I was thinking that. I was like, Rasmus plays for Napoli. Why the badges change? Inter. So there is a chance that Inter go quite far. They've obviously been in the Champions League final in the past few years anyway. So there is a chance that he could do pretty well. So he's going to be one well worth having a look at, to say the least. Obviously, then we have the likes of Gakpo. We have Barcola. And we also have the Dortmund player who is coming in. Where is he? He's on the... Where is he? He's on the bench. Yes, 510k. And the reason why, what an upgrade he had. Across the board is beautiful. From an 82 with the Bruiser Plus in that 86. Everybody absolutely loves him. The Bruiser Plus is a phenomenal playstyle plus this year. They really kind of upped it. And with Dortmund potentially doing okay, there is a chance that he puts himself there. It's going to be a nice upgrade. And obviously you've got to kind of take some kind of extra precautions with these cards because they can go up. Like there is a big chance that PSG do pretty well. So realistically, Barcola's looking at maybe a guaranteed 88, potentially in some of them a guaranteed 89 at the minimum. So it's going to be a very interesting one once we get to them final games to see who's truly getting this upgrade. Obviously, Barcola puts himself up there. And then we do have Gakpo before we get into my boy Rasmus. Now, Gakpo, standard upgrade, has got himself the incisive. I think with Gakpo, he needs that midfielder role. I like him on the left. I think he's great as a winger, but that cam role is definitely suited for him. 6'2", great dribbling, pace, incisive. His cam role would have been exceptional in there. He would have been an absolute gem to get in that middle, but unfortunately, they've left him on the left. Now, obviously, Rasmus with a nice upgrade, coming from a 76, an 11 overall upgrade, 5 on the pace, 11s down the middle, and 12 on passing and dribbling. It's a must card. Enforcer Plus, giving me that Gyökeres vibe. If Napoli do manage to get him up to that 89, he could be a solid striker. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be absolutely crazy. He's not going to be this brand new striker going up into the middle, but he's definitely an interesting one. And from a Man U fan, obviously a bit of bias to him. I'm glad that they've managed to get a little bit of an upgrade for him. And that's going to be the list for today. A lot of kind of bottom end, realistically just pack fodder more than anything, but some cards that could potentially get up in them live values and really give us some very, very nice cards. Like imagine a 94 Haaland in a few games. Let me know what you think about him, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.